Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is another OGR, as today is game 17 as the Edmonton Oilers went up against the Winnipeg Jets and we lost 6-5 in a rough game where we should have won this game. But bad goaltending and well, some bad reffing, but mostly the bad goaltending and bad defense really cost us the game here tonight. We were able to score 5 goals against Hellebuck, but we weren't able to pull away with the win. And these are the types of games that you need to win. When you're able to score a lot of goals against a goalie that is really good, for example, like the game against the Calgary Flames where we lost 6-4 and we were able to score 4 big goals against Jacob Markstrom, but not Mike Smith, not Mikko Koskinen. They weren't both there for the Edmonton Oilers, which we're going to get into why they weren't there, especially our defense for our forwards. Cahoon got benched most of this game. Kyle Turris, is he on his last straw? We'll kind of get into that as he only played 7 minutes in this game, and Cahoon got benched for giving up a goal that ended up being the game-winning goal for the Winnipeg Jets. So we got lots to digest and lots to kind of go over and talk about, and what do we need to do next, and what's really going to be the fix here for Dave Tippett and going into that next game, because we did have some very successful games. There's no doubt about that, and we did play very well in this game. But when we go up against an offensive powerhouse like the Winnipeg Jets, who have Scheifele, who have Ehlers, like Kyle Connor, we need to play a better tight defensive game, and we definitely didn't play that tight defensive game that we played against the Montreal Canadiens. We were sure able to outshoot this team, and there was a lot of components of this game where we outdefended the Winnipeg Jets, but there was those big mistakes that really came back to bite us in the ass. So let's get right into it. As the first goal right off the get-go, a one-timer there on the power play. Mark Scheifele gets a big one as they already set it up. Now, this, I'm not going to blame Mike Smith on this one. This was legit the beautiful pass by Blake Wheeler over to Mark Scheifele, set him up on a crisp pass. Honestly, it was beautiful. Scheifele got all of it, put it right in the back of the net, and it was a good start for the Winnipeg Jets. Definitely not the start that we wanted, and it was a really dumb interference penalty too. Cahoon legit blocked off whoever, it was like Blake Wheeler or something, and we seen it all night long. Hennis got hauled down. There was a couple other components of the game where there's could have been some more penalties for Winnipeg, but there wasn't. There was legit no other penalties for the Winnipeg Jets, and that could have been not a penalty. It was the weakest call ever, and it got called, and we weren't able to kill it off as the Winnipeg Jets already start off with a goal. But do not worry, Alex Chiasson is there for the rescue as Devin Shore sets up Chiasson on a nice, really nice breakout pass. Chiasson with Turris, and he didn't pass it to Turris, he'd even think, and he rifled it right past Hellebuck, and we tied the game right up at 1, which is absolutely perfect for the Edmonton Oilers. Because during this period, most of the time, we were really dominating the Winnipeg Jets. It was back and forth hockey. The Winnipeg Jets were getting some chances, and then the Edmonton Oilers would just pour on the offense, and we just weren't able to get anything past Hellebuck until Kyle Connor puts up his 8th of the season. This was just one that Mike Smith got caught by surprise. Yamamoto tried to chip it out. It was really kind of slapped lazily, and Kyle Connor seen it, fucking shot it, and it went right in the back of the net, and we're already up 2-1, and that was like the 6th shot that Mike Smith faced in that game. So barely any challenges for Mr. Mike Smith, and he's already letting in 2 goals, and in that first period, he was looking not on his game. Every puck that came to him, it was bouncing all around Smith. It was just not Mike Smith's night. He did not look himself, which is a big bummer for us Oilers fans. After seeing 2 great games from Mike Smith, now we're seeing this huge decline in a game that he was just not on top of his ball. And you know what? That's Mike Smith for us Edmonton Oilers fans, is that we're going to be having to deal with this guy now. His hot and cold streaks are going to be relentless, and that is what it's going to be with Mike Smith. Sometimes he's going to be cold like this and let in the amount of pucks, which the second period was just like that. Mason Appleton with a nice 5-hole shot, which Darnell Nurse, I don't know what he was doing once again, and this is another defensive mistake by the Nurse and Barry, and I think this is when they give too much ice time. This was a game where Nurse got 27 minutes and Barry got 30 minutes of ice time, and Barry was horrible defensively throughout this entire game. He was being absolutely dangled, especially for that Oilers goal where he got scored his 10th. Barry was getting absolutely out-dangled out there and absolutely getting ripped apart, especially when he was trying to break out the pass as well. He was just not very good. He's getting a lot of like secondary assists. He's really not doing what we are expecting him to do. Sure, he is getting points, and that's what we asked him to do, but and that is what he's here to do, but I don't know. He's just not playing that game defense, and it's really hurting that Darnell Nurse Barry pair, because with Barry not playing any defense, Nurse is not a very good defensive guy either. As he went for the hit, for some reason he did. He seen Mark Scheifele and decided to go for the hit, but Nuge was already covering Mark Scheifele. If Nurse wanted to do the smart play, is just continue to protect the net, and he didn't. And Mason Appleton got a great chance, and he legit went through 5-hole. And I wish this was a save that Mike Smith made. This was one that he needed to make for the team, and especially one against Nikolai Ehlers, where he sniped on Mike Smith. And this was another one that Mike Smith should have saved, and this is where he got yanked. We gained some momentum as Nuge got a big goal in the power play. This was a huge one for Nuge. He's been struggling in the past couple games recently, not being able to put up any goals. We've been talking about it recently, and this was a game where I thought, man, this is a game that should be doing good. Oilers Daily was like, Nuge is going to pop off tonight, and he did. Got a big goal there on the power play, and then Yamamoto with a nice tip from Barry, or from Nurse, I mean. Nurse took a nice shot from the point. Yamamoto was finally able to get a goal, his 5th goal of the season, as he's also been on a little bit of a drought as well. He's been struggling out of the late for himself as well, so that is a nice goal for Kayla Yamamoto to get. And then Peralt got his 3rd of the season there for the Winnipeg Jets, and that was just another ball buster goal. You keep seeing these goals, like you get 2, you get really close, you're getting close to 1, and then Peralt just scores it. And that was a really kick in the nuts. But then the Chase online goes out there. They were relentless on the forecheck. Just kept generating opportunities after opportunities after opportunities from the McDavid line to that line. And they just kept following up. And that's what we need to do as a team, is just keep following up every shift. Keep going out there, play good defense, breaking out the puck, and keep generating some offensive opportunities. And this is another one where Mr. Evan Bouchard got a big assist, helping out Ennis get his 3rd of the year, and then Chase Son getting his 2nd goal of the year. And this was a game I'm like, all right, we're getting some depth of goal scoring from the team. This is a game where we need to win. Going into the 3rd period, Nuge gets a big one. He gets his 7th of the season. And I'm like, all right, this is looking good. Nuge gets one there. That's a huge one. It was a beautiful pass from Puljujärvi. McDavid break it in and getting over to Puljujärvi. He makes a beautiful, crisp pass over to Nuge to get the game tied, right? And then a couple minutes later, Blake Wheeler with the biggest defensive mistake by Dominic Cahoon, and then allows it to basically win the game for the Winnipeg Jets. And, you know, I was happy and not happy through a lot of this game. If you want to go check out my live streams, I do live streams on most of the Oilers games. That's twitch.tv/Patreon on the radio. The link will be down in the description below. But watching this game, it was like a roller coaster. I didn't know what to think at first. And because there was a lot of players that made me happy, but then there was a lot of mistakes from Dominic Cahoon, to just about everyone. The Darnell Nurse Barry line, they were making some key mistakes that they didn't need to make. But honestly, there was still a lot of positives in this night, and I think the biggest reason why we lost this game was honestly because of poor goaltending. If we got a bit better goaltending and we didn't have those 2 goals go in the 3rd period, we would have easily won this game. Well, not easily, it would have been a close one, but we would have been able to win this game. And this was a game that we definitely needed to win. We were 9-7, now we're 9-8. We just let the Winnipeg Jets pass us, of course. We have the Calgary Flames, who just beat the Canucks last night. So we need to start winning some games, and these are some pivotal games that we got coming up. Tomorrow we get the Jets, and then we got a big back-to-back on Friday and Saturday going up against the Calgary Flames. So we got a lot of big matchups coming up, and it's going to be some intense hockey here in the next little bit. But Turris, I think we need to scratch him. I think Gaetan Haas and Jujar Kara could be the two guys going up the middle for our third line. And Evan Bouchard, praise him. 8 shots on the net, deserved a goal all night long. 2 big assists. And shout out to Ray Bro. He absolutely loves Evan Bouchard, and I do as well. Evan Bouchard was still making defensive mistakes. He played on the left side for the first time with Larson, and I think he wasn't used to it, so he was making some little mistakes here and there, but I think he will get used to it. I'm excited to see when Ethan Berry steps in the lineup. And also, I was not very impressed by Cuckoo tonight as well. Cuckoo just wasn't very strong defensively, nor he is 5-on-5, I feel like. I feel like we definitely got to throw up Caleb Jones into this mix. I think it'd be a lot better. You have a Legason-Larson pair. That could be your Pierce shutdown defensive pair, and you could have a Bouchard-Berry maybe. I don't know. There's lots of ways you could go about things right now with this team, but Cuckoo just does not fit in the Oilers lineup right now. He was in the first couple games. He was one of our best defensemen, but now he's just really not fitting too well, and he's not really playing his best game from what I think. But I think we're going to bounce back. We got some really good players. That third line between Ennis, Kara, and Archibald, they were bashing bodies as well. I think they had about 18 hits on tonight's game, and all I gotta say in this game, this was a must win for the Edmonton Oilers. I felt like this was a game that we deserved to win, especially when we outshot the team 45-24. Hellebuck was standing on his head most of the game, and we got 5 on him, and that's where I think it needs to be said that we should have won this game. But poor goaltending once again, man. It always comes back to bite the Oilers in the ass and bad defensive mistakes. And just imagine, man, if we were to have an actual good goaltender in the back end there. I mean, I love Koskinen. I think he's a great goalie, but he's been a little skeptical in these past couple games. It's been, our goaltending has been, especially Koskinen, he's been a bit cold lately. And Mike Smith, with how he played that game, worries me, to say the least. But I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm excited for tomorrow's game on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a live stream, but keep tabs on my Twitter. The link will be down in the description below if I'm going to be doing a live stream or not. But I'm going to end things here, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Adios, amigos.